Hello there. So I've never actually recorded any videos out here, but this is actually the outside of, or kind of the middle space of the apartments area that I've been staying in for my pretty much the vast majority of the time that I've been here in Sydney, Australia. Mind you, except for pretty much like just a couple of days at the beginning, and of course the time I spent in Canberra for like a day or two. But basically, besides that, except for like pretty much like 5 days, 4 or 5 days, the whole rest of the semester I've been here. Anyways, I'm a little surprised I never actually recorded any videos back here, but so got my pajamas on right now. I'm pretty much already taken care of pretty much just about as much things that I can do before I leave to return back home to the United States tomorrow. Which is, I mean, I know I recorded a video very, very early this morning before I went to bed. It was around midnight or so, I think it was. Might have been a little later. I don't remember exactly, but sometime around there. And I kind of just talked about some of the feelings that I've been kind of just having, and just generally kind of impressed that I've really gotten, this far. That I've really been here for this long. And in fact, I don't know if this is going to be the last video or not that I'll do here in Australia. It's entirely possible I might do one tomorrow. If I do, it will probably not be very long. Just because, I want to make sure I get out of the door pretty quickly. I just don't want to make it too stressful for myself tomorrow. It's gonna be a really long day, and thinking, looking up at the sky here, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna be tens of thousands of feet, or for anyone who's not using the imperial system, like the most of the world, the metric system, it'd be tons of heaps of kilometers up in the sky, tens of them, and tens of thousands, and or something like that. And I'm not particularly fond of thinking about that fact. Trying not to. Probably shouldn't have said that. But anyways, I guess it's kind of obvious fact. It is an obvious fact of flying, so yeah. But so anyways, it's just, I'm not really too sure what else to add on to what I really said in the last couple of videos that I've done basically this week, and the one I did this morning before I went to bed. I know I definitely don't want to stay up too late. I think I'm honestly a little tired. I don't know if I'm going to fall asleep a little bit earlier, but I certainly hope to. Just so I get an extra little bit of sleep before I, get on the flights for the whole day, because it's going to be a long day, and I mean, it's 13 hours and, 13 hours and 40 minutes, almost 14 hours from Sydney to LA, and then I have to fly, I have to wait in the airport for, I think, like, 3.5 hours or something. And then I have to head on to Chicago. That'll be about, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours, I think. Maybe close to 5 or 6. I'm not really entirely sure. The time zone thing is making it weird. So I'm not, somewhere between like 6 to 8 hours. And then, and then I have the last one from Chicago to Cincinnati, I have to wait in that airport. I have to wait in Chicago airport for about 2.5 hours, just for just about an hour flight or so to Cincinnati, and then and then once I get through that last airport, then all I gotta do is meet my parents and put my stuff in the car, and then we just drive on home. And I mean, I forget the exact time right now. I think when I last checked, it was like, I don't know. I want to say I think it's like close to 9, but I'm not entirely certain about that. Might be a little later. Maybe a little earlier. I'm not even really sure. But we'll just say right now it's around 9 p.m. Sydney time, right? So, in 24 hours. I mean, I don't know exactly where I'll be at because the whole time conversion thing is weird, but, especially when you're going across the, whatever the fuck the thing is called, the international time boundary thing, whatever the hell that is. I don't know what it's called. I know I saw the name of it like forever ago, but I just don't remember. But anyways, so yeah, when you're crossing that, you get set back or set ahead like a day or two or something. And so yeah, I'm not really sure, but 24 hours from now, we'll just assuming Sydney time, just for sake of convenience, right? So be I mean, I probably won't even. I don't even know if I will even be. Will I even be over? No, probably wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't even be over to. I don't know. I mean, well, because I leave at 11:20. So let's think. So like 13 hours and 40 minutes. 40 minutes. That makes it 12. And then 11 hours. I mean, 13 hours on top of that. So then that makes it 12, the next one, so makes it midnight, and then it makes it 1 in the morning the next day. So pretty much, yeah. I don't know. Time stuff is weird. But yeah. So, and then I guess if I converted that to my home time zone of EST, Eastern Standard Time in the US, so it's like currently it's either like a 14 or 15 hour time zone difference. I don't remember exactly how much it is because the whole time zone, I think there's, the whole time change thing happened a little while back here in Australia, and I think it just happened pretty recently back in the US, but I actually don't remember what day that was, so might be like an hour off or something, but not the end of the world for that. I mean, just be a bit longer waiting, but it wouldn't be forever. But I forget what I was gonna say. Anyways, enough about that. But it's just like, like I said, this may very well be the last video that I ever do here in Sydney, Australia. I mean, I don't know. I might do one. Like I said, I might do one tomorrow morning before I leave. If I'm gonna do one, it's probably gonna be in my room up there. Which, if you're wondering, it's like, so if you see like the 2 windows, like they're kind of in the middle of the screen right now. Yeah, that's like the room that I'm in. I'm on the left side. So yeah, that's where my room has been. But anyway, so right now I'm pretty much just waiting on literally my smallest laundry load ever that I've probably done while being here, which is literally just the clothes that I wore today, and I had to take a shower, so I had to wash the cloth for that again, but pretty small load. I did actually do the rest of my laundry earlier today, but and I got packed up and all that stuff. But anyways, in terms of what I actually did today, besides just like some of the preparation type things, um, I let's see here. What is this? Like a random notification. Just swipe that up. Okay. Well, I revisited the Ascot area here in Sydney, which was about a little more than like an hour and a half walk away. It's about that long, so it was it was a bit. It was a bit, and then I had to walk all the way back. I think I got a little bit I felt a little sunburn, so I actually had quite a bit of aloe. But I don't think I got burnt too bad. I was wearing a hat for most of it, so probably fine. I just need to apply some aloe tomorrow, and before I leave, so once I get back. But anyways, I'm not too worried about that. But so I revisited this cafe that I went to for like literally I think it was like the second ever meal that I had here in Australia, and also now for today being my third to last meal. I wanted it to be my second last one because it'd be a little more matching, but just didn't really end up working out like that. Because yeah, they close at like 2:30, so yeah, I can't really have it like that. And plus, I don't know, would I even really want to walk an hour and a half back in the dark? I'm not really too fond of that. I've done that probably too many times while I've been here. um, Nothing ever really went wrong. It's just you just get tired. That's really what it is. Although again, you kind of get tired of walking that long, regardless of the time of day it is. So there's that. But nonetheless, but yeah. So I went back there and I got these two meat pies. I didn't get the same one that I had when I went there the other time. I've only been there 2 times. The one was literally just the 2 days I talked about, like the second day I was here or something, like the first like full day I think it was, and today's the last full day of my time here. So you know pretty much that's how that's kind of going. But I think might be wrong in that, but anyhow. Wait, actually, no, that might actually not entirely be true, because I did land here in the morning. It was morning. I just don't remember what the exact time was. So I don't know. I guess it depends on what you define as when morning starts and ends. But yeah, actually no, I could say that the first day I was here was a full day, or at least I was pretty close to it. Although it was definitely a weird day, for sure. And I'm sure tomorrow's going to feel like that too, in some regards, especially. But nonetheless of that, still nice to go back there. So the meat pies I had was, I think it was like, I don't remember exactly what it's called. I think it was like beef and burgundy or something. I think that's what it was called. And it literally had, beef, mushroom, bacon, and wine in it, red wine. It was pretty good. I liked it. It's pretty filling. Kind of shame I hadn't gone back there a couple more times, but I'm not too worried about it. And I honestly, like, their pies were like insanely cheap too. Like, although they weren't gourmet style or anything, but they were still pretty good. It's literally just like, I think it was like, what, just $7 or something for like a normal size pie, which that's not actually a bad deal.
You know, that'd be like probably like $4.50, $5 USD. So like that's pretty good. So just had two of those and a bottle of Coke, of course. You know, classic. Although it's not really an Australian thing, but you know, whatever. I do like my Coke. It's kind of a basic thing, but although speaking of sodas, I prefer cream soda or root beer. Those are actually probably like my favorites. I like a lot of those like super classic ones. Although you know Coke is a classic one, so you know I guess I can make that argument too. But nonetheless, so that's pretty much what I did for most of the day. Is just walking there and back. I spent quite a good time. It was probably about
Actually, it wasn't most of the day, but it was definitely a good bit of it. It was like around like probably around like 3 hours, a little more than that maybe, to walk there and walk away back, you know. And it didn't really take me that long to actually eat the food, but then again, it was probably because I was freaking starving when I went over there, so you know. And it was a little hotter than I thought it was gonna be. So that didn't really help either. But anyways, so but yeah, so that's kind of what I did. I just took care of a couple chore things, packing up some stuff. I weighed my bag again. I don't know, I might try to do that one last time tomorrow just to make sure, triple check, just in case. But we'll see. And and then the whole venture there, and then I briefly went on by the hotel. I didn't go in it, but the hotel that I stayed at for a couple days when I got here, just kind of nice. I didn't really stay there too long. Again, I was kind of just feeling a little tired and whatnot, and it was a bit hot, so and I was like, there's not really all that much I, really, really have in mind to do. There wasn't really anything else over there that I really thought of that, like, oh, I really want to revisit. I mean, the only thing I could think of that did pop into my mind that I was like, oh, I could revisit, but I didn't really want to, was there's this like little local library or something in that area, but the issue was, it's just like if I went by there, I'd have to just return the books basically like tonight, so I didn't really want to do that, or return them like tomorrow morning, which I don't want to do that either. Or I just have to be like, hey, can I buy them? And then just have to figure out how to stuff them in my bags without getting over the weight limit with the one. The one that does have the weight limit. And so yeah, I didn't want to go back over there. And I didn't, when I went over there the first time, I didn't really see all that much. I mean, it had a bit of stuff with just a little bit of Sydney history and just a bunch of different little random facts and whatnot. It was kind of cool. And I think I saw, I don't remember if it was the original one, or if it was just a model, but saw like something like the Sydney 2000 Olympics torch or something or other when I was there the first couple days. So that was cool. I don't remember if I ever actually took a picture of that. I thought I did, but I'd have to go on my hard drive and look in there. Speaking of my hard drive, I think I maybe should actually go ahead and go ahead and take the photos I got here today and yesterday, I think it was, or whatever the other day, the day before that, whatever, and just go ahead and slap those on the hard drive too. So just have the entire collection of basically all the photos I've taken here on that thing. Unless I take any tomorrow, which again, entirely possible. I don't know, I might do like a last selfie or something. So I don't know, we'll see. But nonetheless,
it has been an experience to come here, and I don't regret coming here. I will say that. I think it was a good choice, and even though I've had some rough spots, even though I have some downs, even though I have some things that I've been anxious about, I'm glad that I've come here, and that I've had the courage to try to push through.
And I still try to get myself to do some new things and talk to a few new people here and there, and and still try to keep in contact with some people back home, and and I thought earlier about this. It was as I was walking by the hotel, and yeah, it does feel a little sad. It does feel a little bit of shame that I didn't really have anyone else come here with me. I mean, I had a lot of help with, obviously, with setting, with being able to come here in the first place, because it's kind of expensive and all that. And in terms of planning a lot of the details and figuring a lot of stuff out along the way. I'm very grateful to my parents and the advisors I've had here and back home, and people who taking care of this housing situation, and the people who've been in the public transport, who've driven those or directed them or something. I'm thankful to them too, and everyone else who's helped me along the way. So but even though I didn't have my family here to be able to see things with their own eyes, and experience Australia firsthand for themselves, I mean, especially for my brother, because he's never been outside the country before, and it would have been really cool for him to be able to have some kind of experience, somewhere else. And just my parents, because I think they would have really liked it. I think they would have really liked it here. I mean, I have no idea where my family would have stayed at, even if it was just for like a short little visit. Although I'm sure they would have figured something out, but be quite a bit costly to do that. But nonetheless, that aside, I've still tried to be brave to go out into the world and do some things. And while I don't really know entirely what I'm going to be doing when I get home for the break, it'll be quite a long winter break actually, and my family will actually still be at school and work. And also pretty much all my peers that are back home, pretty much, because they don't get off earlier. They have the normal winter break. Suckers. I have basically the longest winter break I've ever had, which is going to be from literally November 16th, essentially, to January 4th or something, or whatever. Basically till the first Sunday of the new year, or the end of the first week or something, however they measure it, for the next year. So quite a bit nice time for that. I mean, I don't know. I have a few suspicions of some stuff we'll be doing. I'll probably be asked to take care of chore stuff and making some of the meals again, especially because I won't really be going anywhere. I imagine for a good bit of it, and I don't know, it's a possibility that I might be doing some kind of small jobs or something my dad has kind of messaged me, talked to me about a little bit, so I might still end up having to do something productive, which is shucks, but whatever, it's fine. But besides that, I got Thanksgiving to look forward to, I got Christmas, and all the festivities for that. being chill and just enjoying being back with my pets and family. And so yeah, getting a little thirsty actually, so I should probably drink some water. It's a good thing I have it right here, because it's not like it's totally not like I thought of this or anything. I should bring some water out here. But, I figured, this is the last. Well, okay, the time zone thing is weird because, whatever. But besides that, the whole time thing for tomorrow when I'm flying back across the fucking ocean, and this is pretty much my last night here in Sydney, here in Australia, potentially ever. So, because like I said before in previous videos, I have no idea if I'll ever come back here. I don't know if I will. I'd like to think so. I think I'd like to come back someday. Preferably with at least another person or two, so I have someone to experience some stuff with, and if it's back here in Sydney, to show them around maybe a little bit, revisit some spots that I've had some memories at. But I just want to get a bit of fresh air, and I'm sure I'm going to spend quite a good bit of time there in my room. Someone trying to fucking light like a cigar or something. Like, what the hell is that person trying to do there? I'm confused. But are they like spying on me or something? Because they're being extremely discreet about it. But anyways, just wanted to come out here, get some bit of fresh air, and kind of, at least, just in case if I don't record any videos or take any photos or anything like that tomorrow, I have one last thing here. And also just because, again, I just don't know, but like, I've just never recorded any videos out here. At least I don't think I have. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. And I figured, might as well, so I at least have this. But anyways, I might scroll YouTube for a little bit, might not, I don't know. After this, I had thought, like, maybe I try to do like a little bit of Minecraft speedrunning. I haven't really played all that much speedrunning stuff in the last couple days. I've kind of been doing a few random things. I've kind of just been doing a bit of Minecraft PvP and a little bit of creative building and just a few other random things. I've really done a ton of speedrun practice last little bit. That's fine. I'm sure I'll do more in the near future. I have plenty of time for it. And also, I don't know if it will work out or not. I don't know what it's gonna be like exactly, but I do think that I am interested in trying to speedrun Minecraft for like streaming or something like that. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that tonight. I'm not gonna do that tomorrow. I'm only gonna try to do it, a little bit, at least at least a day, if not 2 or 3 after I'm back. Just want to have a little bit of time to just decompress a little bit, but just settle back into being home. But I think that could be a good way of spending some time. I think it could be pretty fun. I certainly think it could also be a good way of me potentially making some money. Of course, I know it probably takes a long time for that to, you know, be super successful. And yeah, you probably, and you know, of course, I obviously know the stuff like, you know, you got to be really consistent. You know, you got to do it at the exact same kind of times, kind of dealio, and really good at communicating with your audience and all that kind of stuff. You know, but just, and you know, I just think I'd like to try to start doing a little streaming Minecraft. I should, you know, and I should have plenty of time for it, especially because, you know, if my family's at, you know, at school and work, and you know, I mean that gives me several hours to work with. You know, 5 days of the week. So
You know, I think I'd like to try to do that, but so, anyways, I kind of talked about a couple of different things here and kind of been over the place. And yeah, I know this video is like 31 minutes long, which is ridiculous, but it's fine. But nonetheless, if you have somehow managed to watch this entire thing, I do appreciate it. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you know, I will see you guys, girls, whatever your all's genders are. I don't really care. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean. I'll see you all in the next video, which might be back home in the States. It might, you know, the next one might be here, but either way, yeah. But pretty soon nonetheless. So anyways, appreciate it, and